Hi guys, welcome to our video. Today we're going to be talking about EKGs. My name's Katie.
And I'm Sawyer, and we both teach 202. So, let's go to the board over here. Katie, can you go ahead and draw us an EKG? Now, let's think about what she's actually drawing. So the instrument that we're going to use is the electrocardiograph, right? And the actual picture that we will see is the electrocardiogram. I know a lot of students think graph and they want to think picture, but think of it as an electrocardiogram being like on Instagram when you post a picture. Now, as we can see, there are a couple different hooves here in our drawing, right? So these are actually all going to be representing different waves or of the electrical current in the heart. So the first one that we're going to talk about is what, Katie?
It's going to be our P wave.
So our P wave is going to be responsible for atrial depolarization, right? Depolarization means it's going to eventually reach that threshold and contract. So when we hear depolarization, we want you to think of contraction. So our atrium are going to first contract, and then they're going to push the blood to our ventricles. So what's our second wave, Katie?
Our second wave, we call it a complex because it's actually going to be multiple waves. So we don't want you guys to put QRS wave, we want you to put QRS complex. And it's composed of the Q wave, the R wave, and the S wave. So we're going to call this all together our QRS complex. And so that's going to be responsible for ventricular depolarization and atrial repolarization. So that's atrial repolarization is actually going to be masked by the electrical current of the ventricles. But what we're thinking of there is that our atria, when we're thinking repolarization, we're thinking relaxation. So they're going to be coming back to normal. So the atria is relaxing, and then our ventricle is going to be contracting because it's depolarizing.
And now at this point, right, after our QRS complex, we're going to have the T wave, which is going to be our ventricle repolarization, right? Because we said in our QRS complex, it's going to depolarize. We said depolarize is what? It means it's going to reach its threshold and contract, right? So now we have to have a relaxation before we go ahead and start another impulse of the heart. When we talk about impulses, we need to know that we're talking about our actual pacemaker cells of our heart, right? Because we said we had about 99% non-pacemaker and 1% of our pacemaker cells. So, also things to note, right? Like, why is this important in the first place? Well, it's important because you can actually read the amount of time each interval is going to happen. Doctors are able to read if there's a different interval, if there's like myocardial infarction, atrial enlargement, and I believe that's all it mentions in the lab manual. So make sure you're just familiar with all the different waves that we have present right here.
It does also mention a blockage in the conduction pathway.
Yes. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Come to office hours. Good luck on your practicals.
Do the Disney.
Da, 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 da.